I'm so glad you're here. I was having a really hard time waiting for you to show up. I was just too excited. And I'm even more excited because later on today, my friend Brennan's coming. But I just found out he can't come when I thought he was going to come. He can't come till later, which means I have to wait longer. So I feel frustrated. And I just have a hard time waiting when something really good is going to happen. Like when there's going to be a birthday party, or a vacation, or Christmas. I love Christmas. And sometimes when it's far away, I think it's never going to get here. But it always does. The good stuff, it always comes eventually. The secret is to be patient. And I know that sometimes when we're in the store and Mommy is taking forever and line is so long, it can be hard to wait. But here's the trick. If you look around, you can always find something to entertain yourself with. Like maybe there's somebody else there, even an adult, that you could say hi to and ask them how their day is going. Because I bet if the line is long, they're bored too, and they would like to talk to you too. Or we can be thankful for the time we have and realize, I have an extra 5 minutes. I know what I'm going to do with that. For example, I've got some stuff here that needs to be folded up before Brennan shows up. So I'm going to be thankful for that. I have that time to do it. So we just have to enjoy where we are and who we're with. Kind of like if we think of a little tiny animal that's really small and he goes really slow and he likes to eat leaves. What do you think I'm thinking of? A snail. They don't seem to care. They're just slithering along on that plant, munching as they go, not a care in the world. They're just happy to be where they are. I just had a thought. Ding-ding-ding. I know a craft that has to do with a snail. Want me to show you? Okay, let's go. Believe it or not, when I was your age, we didn't even have email. It wasn't really even invented yet. And we had to wait for the postman to bring us our letters, so you had to be very patient. But now that we have emails and it zip, zip, zip so fast, waiting for a letter to come through the normal mail is called snail mail because it's slow like a snail. So today we're going to make a real snail mail carrier. We're going to make a little craft that you can put a note in so you can give it to somebody. So what you're going to need is two throwaway plates, a piece of construction paper, some scissors, glue or tape or a stapler, and some markers or something else, maybe paint, to decorate it. So first what you want to do is you want to take one of your plates and you probably want to decorate it on the inside like a snail. So what's a snail shape like? It's like kind of like this, eh? Like a spiral. So I'm going to get out my colors here. I love colors. I think I'm going to go with orange. And all I'm going to do is because I'm just going to go quick. You can make yours super fancy. I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm going to go round and round and round, and bigger and bigger and bigger. That looks a bit like a snail shell. You could put stickers on it or special patterns. Then you take your other one, and you're going to cut it in half. This would actually probably work better with paper plates, but I only have styrofoam. Ooh, that noise. So if you have paper ones, it'll help you. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put them together so that both the bumps are out, and you can either staple it or glue it. I have tape, so I'm going to tape mine because I just want to use what's around the house to make it easier. You could decorate the back as well if you wanted. And then I'm going to take more marker and I'm going to decorate this front half too. I think I'll just stick with orange again. And I'm going to try to make it look like it's the same pattern. There. Does that look like a snail shell? Next, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut out like the slug part of a snail. So his tail will be kind of like a tip. And then maybe it'll be a little bit wiggly on the bottom and it will come up and have a round little head and face. And then I'm going to go back down. Follow my wiggly little body here and come back up to that pointy little tail. What do you think of that, huh? Does that work well? Okay, before I attach the snail shell to him, I'm going to give him a smiley face. So he's going to have 2 happy eyes. And a great big smile. There. Now I'm going to take my tape again, but again you could use glue to do this, but I'm just going fast here. And I'm going to attach him to the back. So he's to the bottom of this. And a little bit at the front so he sticks on there really well. Like that. And now I have like a little pocket that I could put little notes in and so I could give it to somebody. So let me see. I'm going to write to my friend Nev. Dear Nev, I love you. From Aunt Gabe. There, she'll like that. And then I can fold this up. 1 fold, 2 folds, and I can put that in my snail mail carrier. And next time I see her, I can give it to her. I think Neville will really like it. Hey, our snail maybe needs a name. Normally snails go slow, but I think this is a racing snail. It starts with a sound, the letter R. What's a name? I know. She's Reese the racing snail. And she's going to hurry to give Nev her little love letter. Can you think of another animal that's known for going very slow? One that has a shell on his back? A turtle. There's another animal that's very close to being like a turtle, and it's called a tortoise. There is a story about a tortoise. A tortoise, let's pretend this is our tortoise, with his shell back and the hair, which is like a rabbit. See his rabbit ears? Now a rabbit, they go vroom, they're so fast. But the tortoise, he just goes nice and slow down the road. Well, here's the story. Mr. Hare, he was so proud of the fact that he was so fast that he would challenge anyone to a race. But he took special interest in Mr. Tortoise because he thought it was hilarious how slow Mr. Tortoise was. He said, Mr. Tortoise, I challenge you to a race. Well, Mr. Tortoise, he knew he was slow, but he was always up for having some fun. And he said, okay, let's go. Well, they started on the beginning, the start line, and they counted down. On your mark, get set, go. Vroom, away went Mr. Hare. He was so far ahead of Mr. Tortoise that he looked back and he started to laugh. He said, that tortoise will never catch up with me. I'm so speedy. So he stopped racing. He got off the path, sat down under a tree, and fell asleep. Ooh, good night, Mr. Hare. Meanwhile, Mr. Tortoise, he just kept plugging along. He kept plugging along right past Mr. Hare sleeping under that tree. And when Mr. Hare woke up and he went, "Oh, what's going on? I'm in the middle of a race." Well, he looked up and Mr. Tortoise was so close to the finish line, he took off like a bullet. But you know what? It was too late. He couldn't catch up with Mr. Tortoise because he'd waited too long. And that slow and steady Mr. Tortoise, he ended up winning the race because slow and steady wins the race. I know it's hard to be patient, and I know it's hard to just take your time and do things the right way sometimes, but it always pays off in the end. Well, it's really nice outside, so I think it's time to go outside and play in the sun. Thanks for dropping by and visiting me in my living room. I love you so much. Mwah! Bye.